In the 2.5 years since its space debut, it has flown 40% of all shuttle missions, sending 51 astronauts into space on 9 trouble-free flights. But this mission has not been going to plan. Bad weather has delayed launch for over a week. This morning, specialists sent up several weather balloons to check today's conditions. All the data looks good, but there's a problem. Unseasonably cold weather has covered the pad in sheets of ice 7.5 centimeters thick, and icicles over 1 meter long. No shuttle has ever launched in such freezing conditions.
They're still assessing the ice problem that we had on the structure.
Launch control decide to delay liftoff for 2 hours in the hope that most of the ice will melt. From their position in the stands, Krista's parents are worried.
Just didn't feel right at all. And my husband said, you know, if I could go and take her off that thing, I would.
Good morning, Krista. Hope we go today. Good morning, hope so too.
With 30 minutes to go, Air Traffic Control clears Eastern Airlines Flight 677 to fly over the Cape en route to Tampa, Florida. Suddenly, the plane hits a strong jet stream. The pilot descends to 9,000 meters, and the turbulence stops. He spots Challenger still on the launch pad and assumes the wind must be the reason for the delay.
This is Mission Control Houston at the T-minus 9-minute mark. Flight controllers are ready to support launch. Roger, welcome.
With only 9 minutes to lift off, Launch Control checks to make sure all of the shuttle's propulsion systems are functioning properly.
Booster go.
Challenger's 3 main engines can burn nearly 4,000 liters of fuel a second, fed from the giant 46-meter-tall external tank. But the 2 solid rocket boosters are the real powerhouses of the system. Their 3 million kilograms of thrust accelerated to 28,000 kilometers per hour, the speed it needs to break free of Earth's gravity. All of Challenger's systems are functioning correctly. The decision is unanimous.
Mission Control, this is Kennedy. We are a go for launch.
T-minus 2 minutes.
With so much fuel in one place, the risks are clear to everyone. But in the history of American spaceflight, no astronaut has ever been killed at liftoff. A comforting fact for some.
I suppose every once in a while you'd think about it, but you'd say, oh, NASA can do no wrong. And like Krista said, you know, Mom, she said that shuttle, they can shut that down the very last second if anything's wrong.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
It was unbelievable. My son reached his arms around his sister and me, and we looked across at all the other families with such joy. So we were tremendously excited.
Roger, roll program. Roger, roll, Challenger.
Almost immediately, the shuttle begins a maneuver to roll over, putting the spacecraft on the correct trajectory for orbit.
Good roll, flight. Roger, good roll. Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading downrange.
Challenger is already traveling at nearly 1,600 kilometers per hour. As it climbs beyond the 10-kilometer mark, a severe crosswind suddenly slams into the shuttle. Over 3,000 kilometers away, engineer Roger Beaujolais is watching in horror Challenger is on the verge of disaster. As Challenger rockets upwards, it's traveling 9 times faster than a speeding bullet. 58 seconds into flight, it encounters a side wind, but a second later, the shaking stops. Now comes the most critical part of the ascent. A phase known as max Q, where the aerodynamic forces are at their greatest. Travel too fast, and the shuttle will break apart. Mission Control, under the command of Flight Director Jay Green, ordered Challenger to throttle down her engines.
3 at 65. 65, Fido. TDL confirms throttle. Thank you.
At 66 seconds, Challenger gets the all clear. It has made it safely through max Q and enters the thinner air of the upper atmosphere. Now it must accelerate to over 28,000 kilometers per hour to escape Earth's gravity. It's time to turn up the main engines to full power. Mission Control gives the cue.
Challenger, go and throttle up. Challenger, go and throttle up.
Suddenly, Challenger is engulfed in a massive fireball. Mission Control are stunned. They lose all contact with the spacecraft.
Flight GC, we've had negative contact, lost downlink.
Copy.
Their data hasn't indicated that anything was wrong.
Okay, all operators, watch your data carefully.
Nobody is sure quite what has happened. Krista's parents can't believe their eyes.
The shuttle was gone, and we all knew, everybody knew that something was wrong. Something horrible was wrong, but of course nobody knew what it was.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.